In the huge variety of a world dominated by the vastness of time and space, what better feeling than to discover places that you have only read or heard about and thought that you will see for yourself sometime. A town that only yesterday was nothing more than a small dot on a map gradually detaches itself from the multitude of similar dots around it and catches a real dimension, a new face. Today we count a new destination on our to-see list. A town where public transport is very well organized, the streets are clean and the parks are nicely manicured. We take a stroll through Zagreb, and we advise you to wear comfortable shoes, because we leave early in the morning and we'll be back long after sunset. What can one say about Zagreb without looking it up in an encyclopedia? Had you asked me before I got to know it, I would not have been able to say much, except that it is the capital of Croatia. And so I make my way to Zagreb. By the end, I have realized one thing. Getting to Zagreb is easy. Leaving it is the tough part. Through its diversity and culture, this town knows how to conquer your heart. It makes you pay more attention to detail. Zagreb will awake each one of your senses, and it will seduce you. Allow yourself to simply feel happy because of a smile on someone's face, or because of a beautiful warm evening. Zagreb is one of those places which should be discovered outside the beaten paths of mass tourism. Associated with a color, it could be blue or red. Or green. Blue are the trams in Zagreb. Trams that you will see nowhere else but in Zagreb, since they are made by a local company. The tram is the star of the public transport in Zagreb, so much that it even has its own fan base on the internet. Not only are the trams in Zagreb very nice, but they are also very silent and passenger-friendly. Zagreb is different, and there are many reasons why. One of them is the funicular, which takes you in about a minute from downtown Ilica Street, the longest in Zagreb, in the upper town. The funicular in Zagreb is the same blue color as its cousin, the tram. In the beginning, it functioned on steam. Zagreb's 66-meter-long funicular is one of the shortest in the world, and so its participation in public transport is minor. But since it kept its original appearance and most of the technical characteristics, the funicular is considered a cultural monument. It passes 4,000 kilometers a year and carries around 750,000 passengers. The funicular goes up and down every 10 minutes, and it is said that in more than 1 century of its existence there was not a single accident or injured passenger. In the midday merciless sun, traders in the market are sheltered from the heat under bright red umbrellas. Their colors and patterns mirror the folk costumes worn in the region of Zagreb. The most famous market is Dolac. It was established somewhere in the late 1920s on a terrace where several houses used to sit, but they were demolished for cleanliness reasons. Dolac is situated at the crossroads between the two medieval settlements of Zagreb, Gradec and Capitol, and right next to Ban Jelačić Square. Ban Jelačić Square is the main meeting place for people in Zagreb and tourists alike. The fountain, which can be seen here, is called Manduševac. Legends connected this fountain to the very founding of the town. A long time ago, it is said, a knight returned from battle. He was tired and thirsty, and he saw a spring on the same spot where Manduševac fountain sits now. There, at the spring, was a girl named Manda. The knight asks her to give him some water, and she lets him drink from a ladle, zagrabiti in Croatian. Thus, the fountain became known as Manduševac, Manda's fountain, and the town got its name, Zagreb. And the knight, he stayed right here with the girl. When at noon you hear the deafening sound of a cannon, don't panic. It is only the cannon in the Nelstill Tower in Upper Town. For over 100 years it has been telling people the right time at 12 o'clock each day. In the past, the tower has been used as an observation point. Every day at noon, someone climbs in the tower and fires the cannon. Meet Alan Tutunzic, the cannon man. As a child, he wanted to become an English lord by the name of Michael of Windsor. His destiny, however, led him on a different path. Alan, who is always on time, has become a local celebrity in Zagreb. He loves his job and the role he has to play. The bells of the churches in Zagreb can be heard only after Alan has fired the cannon. Zagreb's cathedral has closely followed this town's fate. Its towers, over 100 meters high, have surely got your attention by now. The church is built in sandstone, some of it brought from the nearby Medvenica mountain. The construction of the cathedral began in 1093, but the church was destroyed by the Tartars in 1242. At the end of the 15th century, the Ottoman Empire invaded Bosnia and Croatia. Fortifications which are still standing today were built around the cathedral, which had only one assessed the damage, and their official report said that a total of 1,758 buildings were affected. In 41, and it was engraved there in memory of the Christianizing of Croats. The Glagolitic alphabet is one of the three scripts used by Croats, along with the Cyrillic and Latin script. One of the most beloved martyrs of the Croatian church is buried in Zagreb's cathedral. Cardinal Stepinac is a symbol of the persecutions which priests endured during the communist regime. He led the Archbishopy of Zagreb from 1937 to 1960. Cardinal Stepinac opposed Hitler during World War II and decided to help the Jews, and he was later persecuted by the communist regime led by Josip Tito. In 1998, he was declared a martyr and beatified by Pope John Paul II. Ivan Mestrovic, the Croat artist who made the equestrian statue of King Charles I of Romania, which was placed in front of the Royal Palace in Bucharest, today the National Museum of Art, dedicated to Cardinal Stepinac a sculpture made from marble brought from the island of Brač, a material which, it is said, has been used for the White House in Washington. Among the sculptures inside the huge Zagreb Cathedral, one is different. It is the Last Supper, but a dog and a cat are right under the table. Zagreb is a small and stylish town with many museums. The Museum of Broken Relationships is truly unique. Sad and amusing at the same time, the Museum of the Relationships which were not meant to be is the only one of its kind in Europe. In 2011, it received the Kenneth Hudson Award for the most innovative museum in Europe. The Museum of Broken Relationships puts on display objects that have been left behind after breakup from all over the world, donated by people who remain anonymous. Each item is accompanied by a tale that brings it to life and explains its meaning. There is not a person on earth who cannot relate to the Museum of Broken Relationships. Not far from it, you can visit the Croatian Museum of Naive Art. It is considered to be the first of this kind in the world. Paintings, sculptures, drawings and prints, mostly by Croat artists but also worldwide, can be seen every day except for Mondays. If you are in Zagreb during Saturdays or Sundays, at the same time you hear the cannon from the Nelstill Tower, you will see people gather in front of St. Mark's Church in the upper town. What happens there is a captivating ceremony, the changing of the guards, a must-see event. The soldiers belong to the Cravat Regiment, the light cavalry regiment which introduced the necktie, cravat as it is called, a fashion accessory. Then the soldiers march through the streets of the town. In Zagreb, you can always take a walk in the park. In summer, when temperatures outside can be roasting, people prefer the freshness of the old plane trees in Zrinjevac Park. They are more than 100 years old. Surely the meteorological column will catch your eye. It was built in 1884 in Vienna and assembled right here in Zagreb. It still shows accurately the weather conditions. Zrinjevac Park is liveliest in the evenings, when it vibrates to the sound of music. The music pavilion has been here since 1891. Friday nights, the alleys in Zrinjevac are too narrow for dancers of all ages. But every road leads to Old Zagreb. It is where we are going right now, led by our guide, Marija Juric.
Good evening, I'm Marija Juric, but everybody knows me much better under my pseudonym Zagorka. I'm a first Croatian journalist, female journalist, and, as they say, famous novelist. I can lead you through secrets of Greece every Saturday, and I really hope to see you on my next tour. We can all together discover secrets of Greece.
She was born in 1873 and took the pen name Zagorka. She was a writer and the first female journalist in Croatia. To this day, her books are some of the most read in Croatia, but none of her works was translated into English. On summer evenings, Maria Juric Zagorka shows people a different side of Zagreb. The secrets of Greece reveal the mystical Zagreb. It is a guided night tour intertwined with old stories of damsels, knights and witches told by the light of lanterns.